Hello everyone and welcome back to the channel. Today we're heading over to one of the real gems of the northwest, that of Ness Botanic Gardens. Perched on the Wirral Peninsula with stunning views across the Dee Estuary towards Wales. This is a place with over a century of history, incredible collections of plants, a fascinating origin story and plenty for visitors to enjoy, whether you're a seasoned gardener, a family looking for a day out, or just someone who loves a peaceful walk surrounded by nature. In today's review, I'll be covering the story of how Ness Gardens began, exploring the different areas of the gardens, talking about the legends and the people behind it, and of course, finishing off with my take on the visitor experience, everything from the facilities, accessibility, events, and the little touches that make it stand out. Ness Botanic Gardens has its roots in one man's vision, that of Arthur Kipling Bully, a wealthy Liverpool cotton merchant and a passionate plantsman. Around 1898, Bully bought the land at Ness and began transforming it into a garden that would showcase plants from around the world. What makes the story remarkable is that he wasn't content with just buying seeds from catalogues. Instead, he actually funded plant hunting expeditions to far-flung corners of the globe, particularly the Himalayas and China. His support allowed legendary plant collectors such as George Forrest and Frank Kingdon Ward to bring back species that had never been seen in Britain before. So when you walk through the Ness Gardens today, you are not just looking at a pleasant collection of plants, you are stepping into a legacy of that Edwardian spirit of adventure and exploration. The rhododendrons, magnolias and countless alpine plants are a direct result of Bully's obsession with introducing new plant species to Britain. Bully's daughter, Lois, later gifted the gardens to Liverpool University in 1948, ensuring its preservation for education, research and public enjoyment. That link with the university remains strong today, with Ness still playing an important role in plant science and conservation. Now let's dive into what you will actually encounter as you wander around Ness. The garden covers about 64 acres, so while you can see a lot in a couple of hours, it's the sort of place you could happily spend the whole day without feeling rushed. One of the highlights is the rock garden, which is among the largest of its kind in the UK. Here you'll find an incredible display of alpine plants, small shrubs, all carefully arranged among dramatic stonework. In the spring it is an explosion of colour, and even outside peak flowering seasons, the textures and forms do keep it very interesting. Bully's obsession with Himalayan plants means Ness has one of the finest collection of rhododendrons and azaleas you'll see in the northwest. In May and June, the whole area bursts into riots of pinks, purples and reds. It almost feels otherworldly, like stepping into a painting. The water gardens are another favourite feature, with streams, pools and ornamental plantings that give a very tranquil feel. Dragonflies skim across the water in summer, and you will often find children fascinated by the pond life. For those who love more traditional gardening, the herbaceous borders provide a brilliant example of colour and structure throughout the year. In summer they are vibrant with perennials, while in the autumn the grasses and late flowering plants provide rich textures and tones. Ness isn't just about formal planting, it also champions wildlife meadows and natural habitats which support pollinators and local wildlife. There's a great mix of cultivated beauty and conservation awareness. Thanks to those early expeditions, you'll come across exotic and rare plants that you might never expect to find in the UK. For example, there's an unusual collection of magnolias and camellias that can trace their lineage directly back to those original collections. Let's not forget the setting itself. On a clear day, the views across the gardens over North Wales are spectacular, especially at sunset. It's easy to see why Bully fell in love with this spot. There aren't Robin Hood style legends here like at Sherwood, but Ness does have its own stories. Arthur Bully himself was something of a character, opinionated, eccentric and utterly dedicated to plants. He often clashed with traditional horticulturists, but never lost his passion. His willingness to back adventures and plant hunters helped shape the British Gardens, and the British Gardens indeed that we see today. Then there are the legacy of those early collectors. Imagine trekking through the Himalayas or China in the early 1900s, facing danger, illness, harsh conditions, just to bring back seeds. The spirit of adventure is something you can still feel in the garden today. So what's the visitor experience like? The gardens are very well laid out, with clear paths and plenty of maps and signposts. There are some slopes, but most areas are accessible to wheelchairs and pushchairs. There's a visitor centre with a good cafe, ideal for tea, coffee and light lunches, and a well-stocked shop that includes plants you can take home, many of which are grown on site. The cafe terrace has lovely views, which make it a beautiful place to pause mid-visit. Families are well catered for, with open spaces that children can run around, seasonal trails, and events aimed at engaging younger visitors with nature. One of the big strengths of Ness is that it's a genuine year-round garden. Spring brings blossom and bulbs, summer is full of colour, autumn often delivers dramatic foliage, and even in the winter there are structural plantings and evergreens to help keep things interesting. Ness runs events from plant fairs to guided walks and talks, and offers courses for those who want to deepen their gardening knowledge. The educational link is very much in keeping with the university collection. Bird life is abundant here, thanks to the variety of habitats. You may spot finches, woodpeckers, or even birds of prey circling over the estuary. So how do I rate Ness Botanic Gardens as a visitor destination? For me, Ness ticks all the boxes. It's got history, it's got beauty, and it's got variety. It's got a sense of adventure rooted in its creation. It's not just another garden, it's a place with a story, which for me makes it really stand out. The gardens are big enough to feel like a proper day out, but not so huge that you get exhausted. There's always something in flower and something worth seeing, and the views out over the Wirral give you extra charm that you don't often find everywhere. If you're a gardener, it's a goldmine of inspiration. If you're a family, it's educational and a fun day. If you're just looking for a peaceful walk, it delivers that in spades. So that's my review of Ness Botanic Gardens. It's a place born of one man's obsession with plants from the far corners of the earth, now preserved and enjoyed by thousands of visitors each year. If you've been, let me know in the comments what your favourite part was, the rock garden, the rhododendrons, or maybe just the cafe with that view. Thank you very much for watching. Don't forget to like, share and subscribe if you enjoyed this, and I'll see you in the next one. I'll now leave you with some peaceful music and some footage to enjoy the rest of the gardens. Once again, thank you for watching.